Is it recording on your side too?
Yeah, now I got it.
There you go. Perfect.
Perfect. So when I would schedule the meeting with you, the Pacific time is a little different from what I was expecting, man. So it's
Like what? Like
2 hours off.
Huh?
It's 2 hours off.
Yeah. It's are you in Central Time?
I'm Central Time, so I was expecting, like, you know what? My son will be still in daycare, and I'll be able to do this quietly. So he's here with me. So if you hear him running around,
buddy, I scheduled this specifically because this is the last hour I have before I pick up my daughter from daycare.
I got it.
And how old's your son? How old's your boy?
1 year and 9 months.
Okay, so that's exactly my daughter's is 19 months.
Wow.
So what is it? That's like a year and 7 months.
Yeah.
So about 2 months younger than your boy.
Yeah.
And every, like, now she's at the age, so she sleeps in the same bed as us. Everyone told us not to, which I wish I agreed. I listened to them because that's, I felt like doing it the hard way. So now every night before we go to, like, when I put her to sleep in our bed, she has to she grabs my arm in such a way that I can't sneak out. Like, she's got smart enough to know that, like, I sneak out every time she passes out. So, like, now when she falls asleep, she grabs my arm in such a way that I can't just easily just sneak my way out. Right. So now every time I leave, she wakes up again. So this just happened about a week ago. So I haven't figured out how to.
Yeah, you should probably get away from that right now, dude.
Well, so we hired a sleep coach. There's such a thing as a sleep coach.
I've heard of that.
This happened in the shower. All my good ideas happen in the shower, by the way. So here I am. I'm scrubbing down, right? I think I was doing my hair at the time. I was getting my hair down, washed, and I was like, because I slept like 2 hours the night before, and I was like, there's got to be someone to help us out with this. And then like a freaking light bulb, man. Like, there's a sleep coach. So I Googled sleep coach, and sure enough, there's a sleep coach here in Seattle that can help with that. And we got her on board. Dude, like $400 for a sleep coach. But it was like, by the way, she doesn't have a course, so I'm gonna show her how to put together. By the way, one of the things I do very well is I put together courses. I'll talk about that later. So she comes in, she gives us like a whole sheet of kind of what to do, what not to do. But it's a thing, man. It's crazy, and I kind of like that business because it's a sleep coach is probably, especially for kids, is probably the most pain-filled type business. It's like, if I were to put a course up for her, that thing would sell like crazy. Like, all you need to do is just write towards every single sleeping parent or sleepless parent out there, which is basically all of them.
Yeah.
And like, I already know what the pain is. So that's easy. That's easy to go. I mean, that's an easy product you could sell for like $100, and people will pay $100 all day long to learn about how to put their darn kid to sleep.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So before we go any further, just to lay the groundwork, I want to get your history. What is it that you do, and how did you get into it?
Yeah. So if I were to be labeled, it'd be labeled as a copywriter. It's hard. So have you ever heard of Sean Thomas, Ask a Millionaire?
Yes.
Ask a Millionaire, Sean Thomas. He's one of my mentors. He is getting on me about my Instagram. So my Instagram was crap. And so he said, look, you have to define what you do. So copywriter is the definition. So, and I think it's important too, because there's so much, and we'll chat about it later, but that's kind of the history behind it. So the background is, I'll give you a quick synopsis. I spent $25,000 to hang out with Tai Lopez for an entire year, which sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I did it. And without my wife's approval, by the way. So I just did it. And it came home like $25,000 less. And I was like, it went to Tai, honey. It went to Tai Lopez. And she was like, what? And I'm like, hey, it's okay. We'll get the money back. We had the money back. Not, we didn't ask for a refund, but we did some things and got some money. But anyways, so and so through that, I met one of my really good friends, Joshua Earp, and he's an SEO guy. Have you ever heard of Joshua Earp by chance?
No.
So he's an SEO guy, and he wanted to create a course, but he didn't really know how to do it, where to start. Since I've already done it multiple times before for my own businesses, it's like, sure, why not? So we did it, and it blew up. Like within like 9 months, we hit 6 figures. Now we're at multiple 6 figures. It's just it went crazy. And so then I kept repeating the process again and again and again, and just kind of grew. So, so my background, what kind of did it was a lot of copywriting. So I wrote all the sales pages, built the membership site, basically just built the whole thing, managed the whole thing. I still kind of manage it a little bit, but does that help you?
Yeah. Is that more like a passive income now, or how does that work?
It's like almost 100% passive income. I mean, right now we're not even running any paid traffic to it. It's making $10,000 a month.
Really?
Like, just imagine a business that you're not like it rarely ever works out that way. But since my buddy is an SEO, so basically he just ranked everything. So now it's getting, it's a $10,000 a month business that just kind of sits there, and I own half of it. So, I mean,
wow, that's pretty amazing.
I think I write like one email a week. It's like, imagine like a $5,000 a month business that you just write one email a week.
That's pretty awesome.
I think it's every 2 weeks I write an email. I mean, really, it's not that, but that's like one I have, and imagine having several of those types of businesses. So that's kind of what I do.
That's pretty cool. So Tai Lopez, I listen to his podcasts all the time. For some reason, I don't know, his voice like relaxes me. I don't know what it is about him, but it relaxes me. But tell me more about that experience, dude, because I've always, the internet fascinates me. Everybody says that Tai is a scam artist, and I was like, dude, no way, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, I have some crazy stories. They lead you to some really crazy paths. I mean, I'll tell you a story. So through Tai Lopez, I met somebody else. I'm not going to mention any names because this is a really crazy story. And we're at a conference, right? So we're this, the entrepreneur conference, digital marketing conference, and one of the speakers on there, he's, if not a billionaire, he's pretty close.
Damn.
Really buttoned up dude, right? Suit, everything. He just looks the part, right? Really straight-laced guy. And so he invited me and a couple of my business partners, Josh Werp, to his suite in Vegas. And this suite's like a $10,000 a day suite, right? It's just like, you ever see that movie at Hangover?
Yeah.
That suite and Hangover? Yeah. It looked exactly like that. Like that was a suite. I was like, holy shit, this is nice. Like I was looking in the bathroom for a tiger. I couldn't find a tiger. So here we are. We're like in a big circle, just chatting, about some business stuff. And then the door knocks, and some, it's like the guy comes in. He looks kind of raggedy, like this really big beard dude, like almost kind of like a Rastafarian guy. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And I thought he was another, a business owner. He is a business owner, but not the business I thought of. And he walks in, he pulls out a bag of weed and starts rolling a joint. And I'm like, holy shit, this is the guy's weed guy. I didn't even realize. And so here we are, buttoned up lace dude, right? And he's got a weed guy coming to his suite. And I'm like, what? Like my mind was blown. And all we did the rest of the night, I don't smoke. I didn't smoke at all. A disclaimer, right? I don't smoke at all. Friend, what's so funny? And my friend knows I don't smoke. And so everyone's like passing, right? Passing the joint. I think you pass on the left-hand side is what I heard. So you pass it down, and it comes down to me, and my friend's like looking at me like, what are you gonna do? Like I see him on the other side just looking at me like, is he gonna do it? And I didn't. I passed it over. Like, it's okay, man. So I passed it over. But yeah, it was just, it'll lead you to some crazy, crazy things. But you know what's so funny? Like that relationship's a strong freaking relationship. I mean, if you smoke weed with the dude like that, I mean, that's you're in for life. I can call him on the phone, and he'll pick up, kind of thing. He texts me back in 5 minutes. I mean, that's just but it just, so what the $25,000 I paid, it wasn't, I mean, it was to hang out with Ty for an entire year, but it really was to get an idea of his network. Okay. And once you have that network, then it's easier. Like if you have a network and then you have a skill right on top of that, like my skill, copywriting, right? Create courses. And if you have that skill, then it's easy to progress into networking, right? And so you talk to someone, and all these guys are all my friends, like Joshua Earp. Have you heard of Sean Vosser by chance? Sean Vosser, his big client is Tai Lopez. So he worked with Tai Lopez, Adrian Morrison, Sam Ovens, all these other guys. So, I met Sean Vosser there, and I started doing some work with Sean Vosser, and through Sean Vosser, wrote emails for Adrian Morrison, Anthony, heard Adrian Morrison, right? Adrian Morrison, Anthony Morrison, Sam Ovens, all these other guys. I'm sure you heard.
Rings the bell.
Huh? What's that?
It rings a bell.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who your audience listens to, but anyways, so so it just kind of progressed and it got really big and now it's nice. So now I'm, like Sean Thomas, Ask Millionaire, is one of my clients, and so
Wow.
so you kind of get to a point where you get really good at what you do because you do it all the time, but you get like a nice, interesting network of people who for the most part you can't really reach, like Tai Lopez. It's like hard to reach those guys, but I know all the the key people in that Tai Lopez group. And if I need to talk to them, I know how to reach them. Or like Sean Thomas, right? Like we text back and forth because we're doing some work together. But
That's pretty amazing, man. So I met with somebody today, and it was about creating a course. And so I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to get out of the 9 to 5, and they're starting to move away from the college degrees, and they're, because those things they don't pay off in the long run. And right now I'm meeting with 3 guys who are very good at photography and videography. And I'm trying to get them to create like a 5-hour course each. And this is going to go aim to the guy that doesn't want to pay all that money to go to college and wants to learn practical uses and filmmaking and photography, but at a local level, and to be able to get jobs that way, running social media campaigns using that skill. And that's probably something interesting that I'll get with you later about, because I've taken online courses, but I've never had the skill to create them, put them together, and then launch it. I know how to create audiences, and I'm really good at Facebook campaigns and YouTube campaigns, but as far as the structure to put it all together, that's a different skill, and that's something that you have.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have to have like a multitude of skills. Like Sam Ovens talks about have a full stack person. Basically, what it is someone who knows how to do everything. Knows everything, but has a really specific skill in one thing. So my specific skill is copywriting. I'm really, really good at copywriting, in particular around storytelling and copywriting. And then I just happen to know a ton of different things, like some video editing, ClickFunnels. Like there's probably not much that that if I won't be able to do on my own if I really have to.
Yeah.
Find a resource to be able to do it. So I mean that's all it is. It's like we live in a crazy world now. It's like if you know one skill, you could find somebody else to do the rest of it. I mean that's really it. I mean it's like so many people get held back on like these little things. Like you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't do this, and it's like like another thing I talk about, Fiverr. Like I hear so many people hate on Fiverr, like, oh, these guys are horrible. But it's like it's not that they're bad. It's just they get bad directions. So it's like the person ordering it gives really shitty directions. So it's like, what do you expect the guy, the Fiverr guy to do? Really, I mean, like the Fiverr stuff I had came out ends up being pretty good because I give pretty good directions. Right. So it's like, it depends on what you're doing too. I also have some of my clients are like, yeah, I'm going to hire a Fiverr guy to do my customer story mapping. And I'm like, whoa, like you don't hire a Fiverr guy to do your whole like mapping of the customer experience. You don't you do it for graphic design, maybe video editing, right? But like I hired a CEO in Fiverr. Like, no, you don't you just don't do it. Like, there are some things you just don't do. But video editing and some graphic design stuff, I mean, you could easily do it. So that means it's like, so like for you, like what would you say you're really good at? Like what's your one thing that you're like you kill it? Like there's no one that can beat you at it.
Facebook ads. I'm very good at making money for my clients, but the only thing
when you say Facebook ads, there's so many details of Facebook ads, right?
Right.
There's the scaling portion of Facebook ads. There's the actual advertising where the front, the video, they see the video, they click on that. So what part of the Facebook ad that you're really good at?
So I'm good at generating traffic and getting leads in.
Yeah, but how? Like, do you find that you're really, really good at like creating the advertisement, like the copy, like is it the front copy where it's like click here?
Yeah. So what's interesting is I do a lot of video. So video production, I put the video in their face. So then I'm starting to lead them down a Facebook funnel. When they see that Facebook ad, then they're going to be served another ad. Then they'll be served another ad until I get them to get that desired action that I want them to do. Which is either send a message or get their information.
Okay, so video production. So you're good at video production for specifically for Facebook ads.
Right.
Okay, and not just video production, but also like video ad production.
Right. Right.
Like that's a pretty specific thing. Like you probably can just sell that and make a ton of money. Like that's crazy. Like so many like people get so like video wrong. Like so one of my partners owns a video production company, and he does something kind of similar to kind of what you're doing, but I mean if you were just to sell that, that'd be crazy. So like imagine if you just do that and you kind of good at ClickFunnels, right? You could and you just basically you partner up with a copywriter. Dude, you can make so much money. It is insane. So then what you could do is basically then you just offer like, look, I go build the whole funnel for you instead of charging, $3,000, $5,000 a month for Facebook ads. Basically, you're charging $10,000 to build the whole funnel and $3,000 to $5,000 for the Facebook ads. Now you just increase your revenue. Like, and then all you do is you just pay the copywriter half. Like, and that's an extra $5,000 you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So
exactly.
And that's a partnership part of it. That's why you network with these areas where you meet other people that are really, really good. And then once you met them really good, and you say, hey, look, I got this business, I got this client, we could probably add another $10,000 a month in revenue to this thing, but I don't really have a good, strong copywriting skill or the time to do it. Right. Like I know you're really good at it. And if I bring you in, I'll give you a percentage of sales. And it's like, and then done. Like you just added more money to your business and you didn't even do any of the work.
See, like that's the stuff that I can't think of. So like I have a very good ad that's converting right now for a home builder, and it's bringing in leads like crazy. But I literally it's one video, and then after that I'm serving them a carousel ad, and then after that I'm serving them a static picture. So these are just serving leads after leads. The
number one thing I always hear complaints about, especially people with Facebook ads, is they're really good at getting the leads in, right? But on the end, like the actual company does a shit job on converting those leads.
Yeah, they can't close them.
Like they can't close them. So it's like, so then that's why it makes sense to hire someone else. So it's like, all right, so here's the issue, guys. You obviously can see all these leads are coming in. They're good leads, but you're not closing them. So here's what we're gonna create the whole funnel. We're gonna create a sales funnel that will close it for you, that you don't even have to do it. Like it just like for you creates it. And so, and then it's like, look, I could do this. It'll be another $10,000. And it's the investment will be another $10,000. But here's you're going to stop this leakage. You guys are just wasting money at this point. So
okay, let me ask you this, because I have a private school also that I'm doing the video marketing for, and they had 300 students last year. It's a private school, and this year they increased enrollments by 148. And I know there was some leakage on the closing parts. I think this would be a very interesting model to take to other schools where it could work.
And find out what their closing process is, what their sales process is. It's like, just ask them. Like, all right, when they come to you, what happens next? What do you say to them?
Right.
Like sometimes you got to like teach them sales. Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, I say this, and this. I'm like, no, like, like sometimes they just give information. They don't even ask questions. Like, why did you choose a specific school, right? They don't even like say stupid stuff like that. Like, I chose this school because, I felt it was the safest. Okay. So, we're finding out that safety is, important to you. So tell me more about the safety. What are the details that you liked about it? Well, I like this, and this. Okay, cool. Well, hey, let's invite you down to the school. Have you show around. I'll show you these specific, safety issues. There's also some other safety issues you may not have thought of that we'll talk about as well. Oh, fantastic. So, and it's an easy, just to keep talking about sales or safety at that point.
No, I completely agree, man. I think that's something that gets slipped through the cracks.
Well, that's something that people don't like think some people, like I talk about the full stack, right? Like some people are just like, they stop right there in the Facebook ads. Well, I'm doing good at Facebook ads, so it's a company that's messing up. Like, no, it's your problem. It's your problem too. Right? They're not getting any ad. They're not getting any sales. Guess who they're going to blame?
Right.
They're going to blame you. Even though it's not your fault, but they do it all the time. Right. That's just how it works. And so then you're like, all right, now you got to like roll up your sleeves. All right, jerks. I know you got your kid there, so I'm trying to like, all right, jerks. Let's figure out your sales process and let's get this thing fixed, right? And you just do it. And if it's going to cost you, if it's going to be a big thing that's going to cost you money, then just talk about it. It's like, look, let me help you sales process. I'll get my team down there. I'll go down there personally and help you guys out. Here's what I charge an hour to do it. This is what's gonna, you're gonna get, this is what the results are gonna be.
Let me ask you this, Jesse. So over here, I don't know if it's just down in this region that business owners don't like to open their wallets. Is that just literally everywhere?
Man, they're not open. People open up their wallets, bro. People buy some stupid stuff. I mean, it's like I could only like people buy stupid stuff, right? People open up their wallets, right? And if they can't figure out how to open up the wallets, they'll figure out a way to open the wallets. Yeah. So it's like the amount of credit card debt that we have here in the U.S. is just crazy. It's in the trillions. You know that, right? It's in the trillions. People spend money, but people will spend money only on things that make sense to them. So if they're opening up your wallet to you, like that's your fault. Like I'll just put it out there, right? If they're opening up your wallet, like that happened to me. Like I have a client who's I had a big quote. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, and they kind of kept back to me. It's like we're not quite sure. So then it's on me to show the value of like if you spend this amount of money, this is the potential. This is what you could potentially make. And so and so that's like that's so important, man. It's like goes back in value, which is why it's so important to ask questions. It's like like why are they working with you in the first place on Facebook ads? Like, it's to get leads. Like, let's talk about this, right? This is an important one. Like the school. So to ask, tell me what was the reason why the school hired?
No, yeah. So I gave a big old pitch to there, and everybody loved it. So I got hired, right? So obviously it's working. But let me ask you this. So I gave a pitch to. I also had hotels. So it was 3 franchise hotels, and I went in there and I gave them a lower price just to get in the door. I showed them my video production, and I gave them all the results at the end of the month. And they said, all right, got you. We got me all 3 hotels. And then there was some miscommunication about pricing. So we started negotiating price, and they said, no, the owners are stuck at this. So I came down, and then what happened was like, no, they're stuck at this. And we couldn't agree on price after I had showed them the results that we had gotten. After it was throughout the whole state of Texas, they wanted to advertise specifically to truckers. So I created this audience, and I was starting to lead them in the video funnel. And these are all the truckers are looking at this. So then from those truckers, these are all the truckers that had pets. It's a pet-friendly hotel. So I had this audience specifically catering to truckers and to truckers with pets. So I showed them this information, the data, and they were still stuck at that. And I couldn't get them to budge. We couldn't agree on price. And I said, you know what? You can't see the value in this. I'm out. I had to walk.
Well, what are they? I mean, so when you asked them why they couldn't see the value in it, what did they say?
They just didn't want to budge on price.
Well, I mean, did you ask them? Did you ask them why don't you see the value in this?
No, I didn't ask them because I was going through a gatekeeper. Okay. And I couldn't get the right answers like from the guys. They were all pumped about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, you
got to ask why. It's like, all right, well, tell me why don't you see the value of this?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Just ask the question, dude. I mean, it's like that's how you do it. Like what all right, you see the results. Well, tell me why don't you see the value? Like, it's not what I wanted. I mean, it's like it's just like you just ask the questions, bro. I mean, it's like, oh, there you are. Hey, what's going on?
Say hi.
What's your name? Hi.
Elijah.
Nice to meet you, man. You're getting excited. Look at all those teeth. Just chomping in everything right now.
Yeah,
they love
writing over everything too, man.
They love pens. They love taking caps out of pens and then writing on anything that's right in front of them.
Yep.
Like right there. He wants to take that cap right out of that thing.
He does. He wants to write all over my computer.
But I mean, that's going to solve your problem, man. I mean, you got to understand. Like that's one of the biggest mistakes I made was not understanding why people do what they do. It's like once you so like I would ask a question like why, and just keep asking, keep boiling down, and then at some point they'll tell you the reason. It's usually something dumb. Like it's usually something really, really dumb. And then it's easier to them just to combat that once you have the actual answer. So, I mean, so at some point they didn't find the value in what you're doing. And so it's your job to figure out why.
Gotcha.
And so just ask a question, why?
Okay. Yeah, I'll get right on that, man. Cause the one thing I hate is to lose potential clients or to lose them once I've already had them there.
Yep.
So,
So, yeah, for them, I mean, just come up with something creative with them. I mean, if it's, and sometimes it helps to write it out too. Just have it on writing. I use Rocket Lawyer. I don't know if you ever use it, but Rocket Lawyer, it's like $30 a month, and you could write all of your contracts on there, every single business contract, and they sign electronically, which is cool. So you don't need to, you don't need to have paper contracts or have them like go back and forth, sign something and fax it over to you. That's like no one faxes stuff anymore. It's like you have to scan it. It's just like that's another like if they were kind of on the fence and they have to scan something. It's like they're like forget it. I'm done with it. So I use Rocket Lawyer, so they just click and they sign. It's just done.
Awesome. So let me ask you. I'm obviously a digital marketer, and I give out a ton of information for free to a lot of people, And I want to ask you. I know you've already given me a bunch of golden nuggets, but can you give me a golden nugget and some specifics
on what?
On anything that you have, like copywriting, for example.
Yeah. Oh, copywriting. I can do a ton of copywriting. All right. You want some gold nuggets of copywriting? We'll
golden nuggets.
A little water first. I'll give you some gold nuggets of copywriting. I'll give you a big nugget.
Go for it.
This nugget's going to be more veins of other nuggets on top of it. But okay, so I see a lot of copywriting work, and a lot of it in sales letters is total shit. It's just crap. It sucks, right? Especially the front ends. It's like, oh man, I see so many front ends. They're just so horrible. And the reason, because you ever see like people, sometimes people feel like putting a front end that says, oh, download my ebook and cheat sheet right now. And then the ebook. That's all they put. And then they don't get any conversions out of it. And they wonder why. Or they get a ton of conversions in the opposite. They get a ton of conversions, but no sales. And they're not sure why. I'm getting 50% conversion, but I'm not getting any sales. It's like, yeah, because you're getting a bunch of like people who don't even care about you who are coming in. And so it's like, so you have to sell the front end as if you're selling $1,000 product. Gotcha. Like you have to sell the front end as if you're selling $1,000 product because it's like, I see it happen. It's always backwards, right? People like on their sales page for like $1,000 or $2,000 product, they'll write this big fancy sales letter, this and that, but no one ever sees it because they're stuck on the first page. They don't want to get through it. They're like, heck no, I'm not giving you my email. So you have to make the front end just as if you're selling the $1,000 product. Like how you do it, it's like and again, here's another thing. I see so much marketing. I call it narcissistic marketing. Narcissistic marketing. It's like me. Here's about me. Here's why you should love me. And it's like, come on, man. Like at not one point did you mention the client. Like I seen one time before. It's like it was a manifestation page. It was like, oh my! I felt like I was gonna throw up in my mouth when it was like, I just want you to be happy and this and that and love and freedom and like I don't even know where it went. Like I sat and actually watched the video for like a full minute, and she was like, I need you to be selfish, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you like a full minute? I watched this for a full minute. I still don't understand what you're trying to sell me, and so it's like they went off on this tangent, and I'm like, no, like within like the first 5 seconds, you need to like state what the heck you're doing. So it's like, and so people, yeah, copywriting, it's like, so I do a lot of things, right? I do course creation, video copywriting, but at the end of the day, it's like the number one thing you need to get at is copywriting, because copywriting is what the actual communication, the words that's going to get from what's in your head to communicate to the person. It's like the person that you're trying to read it. Like the best sale is always face-to-face, right? So like when you're face-to-face with someone, you could sell it the best. Why? Because they have feedback and you know how to respond to that feedback, right? Boom, boom, boom. But when you're in a sales letter, there is no immediate feedback. So you have to know what that feedback is before you write it, so you could write out what that feedback is. So when they read it, they're like, oh, that's why. Or like they're thinking like, oh, well, that's kind of expensive. Well, why is it expensive? And you explain about it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Or like, oh, are they going to talk about this? And you talk about, yes, they want to talk about this. And so like, oh, fantastic. So then it makes it a lot easier. And so like, that's why it's so important to know your audience. Like, some people like think they have an idea and they just throw something together and they wonder why it works, because they don't, that's like, you have to write sales copy as if it's like you're talking to someone. Like, how would you sell that to someone right in front of you? Yeah. Right. And then like, what are some of the things that that you say? It's called game theory, man. I mean, it's a whole different thing. Like I study this stuff like game theory to a T. Like this is a textbook, man. This is I think this can cost me $100. But basically, it's like you're chess. Like chess is game. So, but the difference with chess is they call it a zero-sum game, right? So zero-sum means only one person can win. But in marketing, it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. Everyone could win. And so you have to write it out that way. And so in the way where it's like game theory, it's like what's the response, and then like how do you respond to that, and then you write it in your copy. Like that's like it's that simple. But the hard part is people don't do the research.
Got you. All right, so we're coming to the end of the podcast here, but I want to make sure everybody can find you. So can you let us know where you can find you?
Yeah, Instagram. My Instagram mentor, Sean Thomas, has getting on me about getting a better Instagram. So Instagram is the Jesse, Jesse, Navarro, Navaro. So just the Jesse Navarro. So you could find me there on Instagram. Shoot me a DM if you're listening to this. Shoot me a DM so I could let Joshua know that you found me here, and yeah, that'd be really nice. So appreciate having me on board, man. I know you're with your
these kids.
Like you can only keep the 10. See, look,
that's what he's doing, man.
Yeah, they take it out and they plug it back in, and it's like basically anything that's dangerous. It's like, oh, hey, what can I do? Can I stick my hand in a blender today? Like that's what they, like, no, you can't stick your hand down a blender today. So, yeah.
Hey, Jesse, I appreciate you coming on, man, and I know you're super busy, dude. I appreciate your time.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon, man.
Talk to you soon. Thanks.